Welcome to Deadwood Tobacco Company Blow and Smoke podcast. He's going to laugh at this. I am your host, Eye Candy Randy. Earned that nickname. Episode number 34. It's the first of our rally editions. We have a special guest we'll be introducing in just one moment. But first, as we start every podcast, Ethan, Preacher, what are you smoking?
We just released the 2023 Custom Rally Cigar. And so it's a little bit lighter this year, Connecticut wrapper, nutty, creamy. I love it, man. That just came out.
And that is by one of our favorite companies. CLE Arroyo makes that for us. And Michelle is going to be in the humidor for all of Rally with that stick and a whole bunch of other choices. And I went with another one of our representatives who's in town right now. I went with the Crux Limitada. But there's something a little bit special about this one. This is the Gunner. This was released in 2018. And
I've never even heard of this.
It's the Epicure. Yeah, so it's the Limitada. So you know the Limitada, the short stem one, and the little one. So, and at the time when it was released, it had a 12-year aged proprietary wrapper on it. And then they took, I don't know how many sticks, about 10,000 sticks, and they put them under for 5 years. So now you have the Limitada with a 17-year aged wrapper on it. It's absolutely smooth, medium-bodied, a lot of complex toasty notes, and one of my favorites. And the best part about this, you can't buy it. The only way you can get this is by going to an event with Crux, and Tony's got about 3 boxes left that he'll be happy to pass out if you come buy some Crux product here at Deadwood Tobacco Company.
He's got the secret stash, man.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's enough of the business. Let's have some fun. Joining us now, a good buddy of mine that I met quite a few years ago when I was at a Sturgis venue and campground that shall remain nameless. And he came out to do some shows.
I kind of agree with that.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely nameless. And I knew his name, obviously, from the industry and worked with another good buddy of mine, Mr. TPF, to get the shows done and ended up becoming friends and hanging out. And I'm happy to have him back because he is a Sturgis veteran. He's here, well, he's going to tell you how many years in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, our good buddy and we have to do this legally, former guitarist for Guns N' Roses, Mr. Gilby Clarke. Welcome, Gilby.
Thank you, Randy Eye Candy.
See, I knew it was coming.
I've been holding that in my pocket since you announced it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, actually, legally, I do not have to say former. I'm Gilby of Guns N' Roses legally.
Legally?
Yeah,
all right.
legally. Yeah, it's in my contract.
Oh,
yeah,
very good.
Yeah, I don't have to say former. Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Not like it matters, but
That's okay. Preacher will edit that out. But that's a good jumping off point since obviously that's where many people will recognize you from. And like I said, I met you when you're out here playing a gig with your solo project, your Power 3-piece, your trio.
Yes.
That's out and about right now. And just tell us a little bit currently. Today is Friday.
Yes.
And you got a few gigs lined up at some of the great places around Sturgis.
yes. Yeah, we actually have not played Sturgis in quite a few years. You know, it got to a point where we were playing, and it's great, but I kind of liked having the freedom of not playing. And like I said, I've been going to Sturgis. I honestly don't know how many times, you know. I've only missed once in probably the last 20 years.
Really?
And we do ride. We ride from Los Angeles out here, you know, hang out right here, and then we ride back. But anyway, so a question was our shows. We're playing Saturday at Kickstands at 9 p.m., and then we have 3 shows at Full Throttle, and we're playing Sunday at 11 a.m., we're playing Monday at 9 p.m., and then Wednesday on the big stage at 6 p.m. There you go.
Very nice.
I can't believe I remember that.
Neither can I. That's normally Troy's job, but I'm glad someone else can keep that straight.
But but once again, I'm always excited to play Sturgis. Sturgis is Sturgis. There's nothing like it in the world, and it's fun. I mean, I'm a motorcycle guy. You know, I like being around, you know, this crowd.
Absolutely. And when we were a couple years ago, we were out in L.A. and had a chance to go tour your garage, and quite the little build space you have there.
Yeah.
I think at the time, I'm going to get it wrong, but was it a 70s Panhead you were working on?
Oh, yeah. At that time, I was working on a 65 Panhead.
Okay.
Yes,
Yep.
correct. Yeah, my garage has gotten out of control. I have a garage at home, and I've been working on bikes since I was young, and it's not a money thing. It's for fun and just to help the guys out and stuff. But yeah, the last few years have been crazy just building. It's like I really just did 4 bikes in a row. I did one for George Lynch, the guitar player. My buddy Paul, I just did a bike for. And then I built a bike for myself for the Big Born Free show last year. And now I'm doing a bike from my buddy Rick. And they're all old bikes, panheads, knuckleheads, shovel heads. I never ever do new bikes. But
And you still have the 65.
yes, yeah. I have a 41 knuckle, I have a 65, and I have a 70.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I love them. Like so my pan I've had since the 80s. And I did ride that out here many moons ago, and I will never do it again. I had to go so slow, and it took me so long. So now I got a Road King, and I just blaze.
Awesome, very good. So of those bikes, do you have a favorite? Was it the first one or?
Yeah, my Panhead is kind of my favorite. It's kind of like my everyday. I mean, the only drawback about it is, my wife loves to ride with me, and she won't ride on the Panhead anymore because it's rigid. And she spent her years, on that with just a towel on the back. And we said that she's earned the Road King, so she doesn't really ride it. But I love the Pan. I mean, it's great. We have a good group of guys in L.A. that all have vintage bikes, and we all do many rides. We do weekend rides. We do quite a bit of miles. We go down to Mexico every other year. We have a place called Kernville we ride to. So, yeah, we got a good group of old bikes. Nice.
Do you take those old bikes? Is that the Diablo run that you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, El Diablo. Because realistically, we go down to the Baja in Mexico, and it's not that far. The whole round trip is like maybe 750 miles, and we do it over 4 or 5 days. So,
Sure.
We're not doing that many miles, but it's still the last of like the decadent world is going down to the Baja on a Panhead.
I imagine. Was it one of those trips that inspired Tijuana Jail?
Well, it wasn't, but I get to hear that song a lot while I'm down there because everybody goes, "Hey, we're in Tijuana." Listen, but yes, partially.
Yeah. Well, you can just check that out next time you're up on the Spotify or anything. Tijuana Jail, one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And we play it every night.
Yep. And there's a nice little story that goes with it.
Oh yeah.
And so speaking of these shows that are coming up, people that haven't seen you out with your solo project, what type of show can they be looking forward to?
So what's fun about a solo project is it really is, it's freedom. I can really do whatever I want. I mean, obviously, most people know me from, my years in Guns N' Roses, so we do some Guns N' Roses songs. But for me, as a guitarist and a singer, it's a little hard to sing Guns N' Roses songs. So I'm very limited as to what I can do vocally. So we only do a couple GNR songs. We do a lot of songs from like my catalog. And then I just do stuff that I like. We do Thin Lizzy. We do a lot of Rolling Stones. We do Beatles. We do Joe Cocker. We do, Grand Funk. Just kind of stuff like I grew up with and stuff that I like.
Guys you've been playing with for a long time.
Very long, yeah. So Troy Patrick Farrell is my drummer. I don't like to call him my drummer. He's our drummer. But yeah, Troy's great. Once again, he's not only a good drummer, but he's a very good tour manager, and he does take on those responsibilities. And EJ Curse is our bass player, and he's been same thing. He's been with me for quite a long time, and EJ is fun. I mean, he just really likes to party, get out there and, get down and dirty and, have his cocktails. And, he's not a cigar guy like us, but he definitely likes to get wild.
Sure. So speaking of cigar guys, of your group of writers, anybody else enjoy an occasional smoke or more than occasional?
Yeah. Our buddy Rick Evans, who rides with us, and he's actually a guitar player also. He likes a good cigar. Paul, who I ride here the most with, he's not a cigar guy. EJ and Troy don't indulge. I'm trying to think who else. I know Rick does. Yeah, I think that's it, really.
And so if you're out and about traveling and playing gigs across the town or across country, in the world, when you stop into a store somewhere, what's your go-to? What are you looking for in a cigar?
Well, so I have an interesting taste. I love Macanudos in general. Like I said, the Maduros are my favorite. I always like a Robusto size, and it's a simple thing. I don't have 5 hours to smoke a cigar.
Sure.
It's usually a good hour, maybe a couple hours. So I love a Robusto size. So Macanudo is one of my go-tos. I know it's a very, generic brand, I guess, but I really, really enjoy them. There's something really good about them. I love Avos. So I think whenever I'm traveling, I really go for the Avo classic Robusto size. Those are my two go-tos. And if I can find a Maduro, I love a Maduro. Mm-hmm. This Maduro is fantastic.
And Ethan, that is the Crux Epicure Maduro.
Yes.
And that is, put you on the spot, mostly because I don't know.
Standard Habano, I believe. Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Plasencia does all the tobacco.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's fantastic. It's great. Yeah. Like now, I also do like the Cohiba Robustos, which are very strong. You know, I mean, I'll do them every now and then, but it's got to be a night where I've been drinking a lot. You know, but when I just want to relax and like sit back with the guys and smoke a cigar, like I said, the Macanudos and the Avos are perfect for me.
Awesome, very good. So out here playing some shows, riding home. What's on the horizon? You said you just celebrated a milestone birthday.
Yes, yeah. So last summer, I had the Big 60, and we had quite a bash. We were just talking off air a little bit, but we had this great spot in California. It's about a little over 100 miles from my house, and we took the whole hotel over. It had like I think 25 rooms. We took them all. We did a nice ride out there, and then we had a barbecue. We watched World's Fastest Indian, on outdoors on an outdoor screen. Just played in the pool and drank, smoked, and did everything. And it was really, really incredible. It was a good way to do 60.
Yeah, absolutely.
With my friends.
I wouldn't know. Ethan's a little closer.
I'm getting there. Getting there.
Slowly but surely. So while you're out here in Sturgis, other than playing, anything that you're looking forward to, either motorcycle event or any buddies playing around the town?
Well, oddly enough, so we have, I'm going to go back a little. So we do have, we rode out with 4 guys. We've done as many as 18 in our group, but we also have a couple guys that come with us that brought their old bikes, their knuckles and their pans, but they did put them in a truck. And so when they come out, they take them off and they ride with us, and they're quite a bit younger than us, and they can't believe how much we ride when we get here. They go, "You just rode 1,400 miles, and all you care about when you get to Sturgis is riding," and that it really is. I mean, this is the most beautiful country there is in our country, and so when we get out here, I really like to ride. I've done Custer, I've done everything, everything here, and it doesn't get old. Every year it's like I kind of do Custer, do lead, everything, and I just really want to ride every day and just kind of get out there and just kind of enjoy the scenery. There's a couple concerts we go to, ZZ Top, which is always great watching Billy play the blues. We're gonna miss Def Leppard, which I'm bummed about. That's the day we're leaving, but they're always great. And I just heard Kid Rock's playing Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know if it's true.
Well, Ethan will look it up and he'll put a graphic across the screen. It's either true or false.
Yep.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah, so that's it. Like I said, we go to shows. Being that we're playing 4 shows, we are going to be a little bit busy, but it just kind of gives us a place for all the guys to round up to. Hey, be here at 11 a.m. or 9 p.m. at night. So that's really kind of our plan. And like I said, just really enjoy the atmosphere and what Sturgis is really all about.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, we don't want to keep you too long. When Ethan and I got on the phone, I was like, "Hey, let's see if Gilby will come on." He did a little bit of research,
all right.
And I said, "What a fascinating guy." Any questions for Gilby?
Yeah, I mean, any guy who's got vintage bikes and builds, guitars.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm a drummer, but favorite guitar, man.
Oh man. That's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I think I know the answer to this one.
When I was a young feller, there are a lot of guitar players that inspired me. I was never look, I appreciate the Eddie Van Halens, the Steve Vais, and Joe Satriani's, but they were really never my thing. Like I like the Rolling Stones, I like the Clash. I kind of like Mick Ronson from David Bowie's band is probably my favorite guitar player. So I was always a Les Paul guy, But one day I was watching TV or something. There was a concert of the Rolling Stones, and Ron Wood was up there, and he had this guitar that I'd never seen before, and it looked like a Les Paul, but a little bit different shape, and it had a metal front on it. And it took me probably 3 years at that time. This is way before the internet, to find out what that guitar was, because it wasn't a Les Paul. It's something unique, and it took me 3 years, and one of my friends finally told me, "Gilby, it's a Zamatis with a Z, Zamatis."
This is the 54.
Yeah, no. This is probably in the early 80s when I saw this.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So this guitar is called a Zamatis, and it's made by this guy Tony Zamatis in England, and he only makes guitars for customers that he likes. Like you can actually call him, go, "Tony, I want you to build me this guitar," and he may say, "I don't think it's for you," and he won't do it. The other thing is, so he's English. He lives in England, so it's a little hard to communicate. This is once again way before the internet. And so for many years, I knew what this guitar was, but I didn't have access to get one. Well, when I got my Guns N' Roses job in 91, we were playing the Freddie Mercury concert out in London. And I got a hold of him, and I said, look, my name's Gilby Clarke. I'm a big fan of Ron Wood. George Harrison has a Zematus. A lot of guitar players I admire. And so he said, well, come out to my flat and let's talk. So I, took the 3-hour drive to his flat and kind of had like a little interview. Had tea with him and his wife, and I spoke to him, and he goes, all right, I'm going to make you a guitar. So it's a handmade Zematus, and it's my favorite guitar I've ever owned. Tony made it for me. And what's funny is at the time, he said, he goes, okay, let's pick out the design. I basically had one exactly like Ron Wood's that he made me. He goes, let's talk about price. He goes, they're about 7,500 pounds. Now, at that time, that was $14,000.
And this was pre
this is about 91. This is about 91.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
I've been in Guns N' Roses for a little bit. So when he said that, I kind of went. I go, look, even though I'm in Guns N' Roses, I haven't been in the band that long. I go, that's a little steep for me. But I go, but really, how passionately I really want this guitar. Yeah. And he goes, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the Ron Wood discount. He goes, because when I built Ron Wood's first guitar, he had only been in the Stones for a little bit, and he didn't have the money. And so he gave me an incredible deal, and He made me my custom guitar. He measured my hand, everything. And so it kind of looks like a Les Paul, but it's got a metal front on it. So that's a long answer to your question, but Zematus is my favorite guitar.
Have you ever taken it on the road?
Oh, yeah. In the GNR years, I played it all the time.
Really?
It's in videos. Like it's in no, it's not in the November Rain video, but it's in a couple GNR videos, like our live shows back then. I don't take it on the road anymore because the value now is because they're handmade and there literally is just a handful of them out there, so they're worth a lot of money now. Yep. And he made me two. He actually made me another one about a year later. So I like when we did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance, I brought it out for that. So I only bring it out for like special occasions. So
there's no guitar that you're like absolutely is never leaving the house, man.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Like
That's
I said,
it.
I mean,
Okay.
I only take it like with me, like I don't let my guitar tech take it.
Yeah.
Like I take it with me. Yeah.
But you're like, if I have a guitar, I'm going to play it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm not that guy. Same thing with motorcycles. To be honest, I hate building show bikes.
Yeah.
Hate it because I like to ride them. So mine are always a combination of they'll have some shiny parts, but for the most part they're made to ride. Like I'm not that guy. I don't like even if. Motorcycles are meant to get ridden, scratched, and all that. If they get scratched, they get scratched. I'm not that guy.
Very good.
I knew there were some stories, man.
Yep, absolutely. And you picked the right ones.
I'm not a drummer, but I actually have a lot of drum sets.
Again, man, gear is just awesome. It's so great.
Ethan's a drummer as well.
Right on.
All right, very good. Well, again, Saturday kickstands the next 3 days, correct?
Yes. Kickstands Saturday at 9 p.m., then full throttle Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday.
Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday.
At
Perfect.
full throttle,
So make sure you check out the shows. If you're running around, see him, say hello. He's got a great group of guys with him as well. And thanks for taking a few minutes to come on out and smoking a delicious Crux Epicure Maduro. I have the Limitada Gunner. And Ethan is having our delicious. Did you already finish it?
I'm still working on it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
The Sturgis Rally 2023. That's a Connecticut from CLE. We're going to be back with a little bit more later on this rally. We've got Shorty's Ride. Don't forget, on Sunday morning, come on down at 10 o'clock. We got coffee. We've got donuts. We've got all kinds of swag bags. We'll have a little bit of a silent auction. $100 to do the ride. And the catch is, if you know Shorty, he is a little person. So the ride is 0.97 miles. It's just around the block, basically. And come on back here. All the money goes to Shorty's Rescue for pit bulls, the spay and neuter program, and a whole lot more. And he's in-house as well with his diesel cigars. And there's just a ton of stuff to plug, so we'll do that later. That's it for number 34, DTC Blow and Smoke podcast. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. Can you tell? Yeah. And we'll knock out another one here later this week. I am Eye Candy Randy. We'll see you next time.